Sales is the most lucrative skill in the world, period. The problem is most sales advice out there today is outdated, cheesy, and could even keep you from the deals that can make all the difference in your career. This is the No BS Sales School, a podcast for entrepreneurs and salespeople who want to master the skill of selling without all the BS. Welcome to the No BS Sales School podcast. I'm your host, Walker McKay. I want to give a shout out today to my friend, John McDonald, who owns a company called FabTech Solutions. Great guy. He sells equipment that cuts shit. Anyway, John and I have been friends for a long time. He was a client of mine for a long time. And he called me with a good question that I thought I would share with y'all because I think it makes a broader point. He said, I've got a guy who's a good salesman. He's going to be my lead salesman. He's going to have people under him. And I'm doing the marketing now, Walker. I'm in charge of the Google ads. I put the stuff out there. I'm in charge of that. And he goes, look, I'm in charge of the company. And I feel like it takes me so much time. My time is worth more. Should I give that to my lead sales guy, the guy who's going to be in charge of sales, and let him run with that so he'll understand it? Curious what you're thinking right now. But here's what my answer was. Hell no, don't give that to him. No way give that to him. Your sales leader, his job, if it's just one of them, his job is to go bring in new revenue to the company. Go find new accounts, close them. Take your existing accounts, grow them, right? Get referrals to new business. Find new lines of business. Find new ways to find people that are motivated to buy your shit. That's his job. And when he has people under him, his job is to develop those people to go get new customers, to go get more from your existing customers, to add on, to sell new lines to the people that you currently have, right? That's their job, and his job is to help them grow. Marketing, different function, different skill set. Should John, the owner of the company, be doing that? No, hell no. John's time, right? He should think of his time as being worth $500 an hour. $500 an hour. And maybe you're a sales guy, and there's a math you can do here. If you take the amount of money you've made in the last 12 months, maybe think about it, how much money you made last year, total, commission, everything, and divide it by 2,000. So if you made $100,000 and you divide that by 2,000, which in theory could be the number of hours that you worked, 50 weeks a year times 40 hours a week, that's 2,000. If you worked more weeks than that, great. Fewer hours than that, whatever. Do the math. 2,000 is a good round number. Divide the amount of money you made last year by 2,000. And that should be roughly what your hourly rate is, what your time is worth, what your time was worth then, what you valued your time then. So if you want to make more money, you got to do one of two things. One, either work more hours, which in theory should increase your amount of money you make, or number two, do higher value things during those hours. Now, I didn't do the math for John. I got no idea what his hourly rate is. It may be $500 an hour, but I want him to think about that as his number, all right? Anything worth less than $500 an hour, he should be delegating to somebody else. Maybe anything less than $250 an hour, he should be delegating to somebody else, right? Because his job as CEO, as president, is to, number one, set the vision for the company, right? Set the vision for the company and help other people buy into the company. Number two is to be the chief sales officer. Yes, he's out on the street selling, right? He needs to be calling those accounts that his regular sales guys can't get in. The more strategic accounts, the bigger ones. He also needs to be the chief talent bringer owner. That's his job, is to go find the next salespeople, the next people that need to be working in his firm, the next group of A players. Those are the things he needs to be doing on a regular basis. Anything less than that, marketing. You can pay somebody else a really good salary. You can hire a company to do your marketing for you, whatever that is, for less than $500 an hour. Hire those people, whether it's hire an employee in your company, hire them in your company. Tell them what you're expecting. Give them room to run. Let them go. Measure them. Boy, that's the hard part about marketing. How do you measure it? I don't know. Come up with some kind of a metric, right? There's not a guarantee of $1 in, $5 out, but there needs to be some way to justify the money that you're spending. Come up with that at the beginning. Work towards that. My point to you is this. If you're a sales guy, your job is to go sell, ideally, right? Maybe you've got to manage some existing customers, depending upon your business. That's fine too. Just make sure when you're managing existing customers, you're looking for ways to increase revenue. Go find new business. Marketing, have that go to somebody else. Now, if you are the business, if you're the one person there, the solopreneur like Walker was a couple of years ago, and you're doing everything, fine, right? Take those tasks that you know you need to be pushing off somebody else. The first thing I got rid of was bookkeeping. I hate it. I'm no good at it. I could hire somebody else to keep my books, to keep me out of trouble, right? That was the first thing I did. I think I hired somebody for $35 an hour, right? After that, I hired an executive assistant to help me with all the paperwork, all the bullshit, all the setting up of the back office stuff. That's what I needed to do. Able to lay that off for $50 an hour. Maybe it was a little more, $60 an hour, something like that, right? And I didn't need that 100 hours a week. I needed somebody on standby, right, who could help me with that stuff 15, 20 hours a week. Then I get that off my back and I can do the stuff that in my world's worth $1,000 an hour. Create content, get in front of prospects, train, do public talks, do podcasts. That's the stuff that's worth $1,000 an hour to me. And that's what I need to spend more time doing, less time doing the bullshit that's worth $200 an hour, $100 an hour, $50 an hour. There are plenty of people who love to do the stuff you don't like to do, and you can pay them for it. So then you can focus your time on the stuff that you love to do that generates new money. I'm Walker McKay with No BS Sales. What is it you're really good at? What do you make money doing? And what are the things that you're not very good at that don't make you money that you should push off to somebody else? Think about that. Push them off to somebody else. Give yourself a goal. By the next 30 days, I'm no longer going to be doing this anymore. If you know somebody needs to hear this, share this episode. Thanks for listening to the No BS Sales School podcast. If you're struggling to close deals, then I want to invite you to take my free mini course, where you'll learn the 7 most expensive sales mistakes that will cost you time, money, and credibility. So be sure to click the link in the show notes or go to www.7salesmistakes.com. That's the number 7salesmistakes.com. Thanks again for listening to the No BS Sales School podcast.